Hey, welcome to Sara Gonzales Unfiltered. It has been so wild. I mean, I have a very low bar for the Democrats. I have a very low bar for the left. But even with the low expectations that I have for them, it has been so incredibly wild to watch them be reduced to just like literally since President Trump has been inaugurated. They're whining and crying about gang members being deported, about violent criminals being, sent to El Salvador, about like the craziest things. And it's just been increasingly wild to watch them throwing a fit over President Trump cleaning up crime in D.C., I guess because Orange Man bad. So whatever Trump is for, however reasonable it is, I mean, you could take a Barack Obama or a Joe Biden who came out and said, listen, the crime in D.C. is out of control. We don't feel safe here. We got to bring in, our federal agencies to come make this better because you guys can't be trusted to your own devices. And no one would bat an eyelash. But because it's President Trump and whatever he's for, they're against, however retarded that may be. And watching them just lose their minds over President Trump invoking Section 740 of the Home Rule Act has been just honestly a sight to see. Now, we have heard that already over 100 arrests have been made since, what was this, like yesterday? The day before yesterday? And they are already on the streets, cleaning the streets up. As we've said many times on this show, there's a new sheriff in town. And we actually care about crime. And you can't expect to just commit crime, especially violent crime, and then be processed by these DEI woke law enforcement agencies and then released back on the streets. That's not happening anymore. And it was just so funny to listen to CNN's Abby Phillip, who I think, oopsie, she accidentally made Trump sound like actually pretty awesome. Listen.
Let's get right to what America's talking about. Donald Trump makes himself Batman, and the nation's capital is Gotham City. The president of the United States has declared himself crime fighter in chief, and he's taking over Washington's police force.
That's so cool. Like, President Trump has made himself Batman. He is crime fighter in chief. Like, that sounds epic. That's actually like a compliment on accident. That sounds super cool. Now, even though they're trying to hit Trump on reasonable things like President Trump has decided to clean up the streets of violent crime. And I can't believe that he would actually do this. It's just hilarious watching them do this. President Trump considers himself Batman. I don't know. You guys just called him Batman, and that sounds super cool. Good on Trump. Dana Bash had to come in and uphold CNN's, retarded street cred by reminding us of, lest we forget, the most dangerous day in the Capitol's history. Watch.
The most violent moment in recent history in D.C. was January 6th. And it was an attack on the United States Capitol by a lot of people who were doing it in the name of Donald Trump. And it included the people who were hurt, included members of law enforcement.
Well, okay. So were those the police officers that died? Because remember, there were no police officers that died. There are still people who go on that network and MSNBC. They literally are saying it as recent as this week. 5 police officers died on January 6th. That's not even true. Not even one police officer died on January 6th. There was one police officer who died days later with nothing to do. It was a stroke that had nothing to do with January 6th. And still, they talk about this violence. The only person, one of the only people who suffered from the violence was, of course, the woman who was killed whenever she climbed through the window, which she shouldn't have done. But Ashley Babbitt, I don't think, deserved to be shot to death. So if you want to talk about violence, we could talk about the Capitol police officer who shot her, even though she wasn't carrying any. I wouldn't think that he thought that she was a threat to his life, but we never got answers from that. All we heard was this was the darkest day in the history of the country. This is the most violent day, worse than 9/11, worse than Pearl Harbor. Trust us, bro. CNN is here to tell you Don't worry about the carjackings. Don't worry about the murders. Don't worry about any of those things happening down the street from the Capitol. We're here to tell you that actually you should be more concerned with those pesky January 6ers wearing those red hats. They're the true violent ones, according to CNN. And yet, you know, you have the quote that we read yesterday with these residents who are giving interviews to the press corps, and they're like, listen, I don't know what we're all up in arms about. I mean, yeah, sure, there's the occasional, like, you know, gangs on the street corners. And I mean, please don't print my name because I out of respect for my safety, I don't want you printing my name. But listen, other than that, everything's really safe in Washington, D.C. I don't know what you guys are all up in arms about. And you have even people like Joe Scarborough from MSNBC, who it probably pained him very greatly to read a text out loud from he says, a very liberal anonymous friend, you know, like Mr. X. You know how people go on Twitter and they're like, I have this friend who has this problem. What would you say to this friend? I'm sure it's an anonymous friend and not you, Joe. I don't know. But he says his friend, a very liberal friend, actually agrees with President Trump's takeover because, duh, it makes sense. Watch.
And I want to read you a text from someone who I won't say their name, but they're we'll just say that they're very liberal. And he says, this may sound controversial, but I'm not totally opposed to Trump's National Guard move in D.C. I know he's doing it for politics, but crime remains rampant. I've had too many friends carjacked, shot at. None of us will walk more than 3 blocks after 8 p.m. 13-year-olds are committing many of these crimes. Quite a change from a decade ago when things were much calmer. Well, that actually sounds like the D.C. that I lived in when I lived a block behind the Supreme Court. And, you know, every 3 days, one of my neighbors was getting held up at gunpoint. I mean, there has been a crime problem in D.C.
Hold on. It sounded like Joe was actually agreeing with it as well. So I don't know. Was that your anonymous liberal friend, Joe, or was that just you because you just admitted at the end you saw all of the crime that was out of control in D.C. and it is so laughable that the rest of these blowhards on the CNNs and MSNBCs and NBC Newses of the world, I mean, they don't live in D.C. Isn't that the dirty little secret? They don't actually live in D.C. They all live outside of the city. Why? Because it's dirty and disgusting and crime-ridden. That is why. Now, if you go to the Capitol, if you go to the White House, they have a lot of security. They have a lot of people creating an illusion of safety. But once you get outside of that bubble, which I believe is needed for our nation's leaders. I'm not saying they shouldn't be out there giving the White House extra protection. But that's the dirty little secret. They live in Virginia and Maryland and all of these places that are just right outside the outskirts because even they know they don't want to live there. I mean, maybe for the peasants, but not for them. So it's laughable to hear them acting as if President Trump is doing something crazy by federalizing and saying, all right, we gave you guys an opportunity. We gave you guys the little keys to the castle and you turned it into a crap show. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the keys back because this is our town. And you have proven yourselves to be irresponsible with the responsibilities that we gave you. And so, you know, even Joe Biden in 1992, when he was approximately 405 years old, he gave this little anecdote about how he literally on the floor, he was like, I actually break the law a lot just to avoid DC crime because I'm that scared. And it's only gotten worse since then. Keep that in context when you hear this clip.
Driving home, my staff who lives here in the Hill reminded me, don't stop at a stoplight until I'm out of town. If I see a red light late at night, since there's very little traffic, slow up at the other block so I never come to a full stop except in the middle of the block because of carjackings. Stopping at a light, people standing in a corner, walking up with a gun.
And listen, Joe isn't big balls, okay? when we're talking about carjackings. There's big balls and then there's Joe Biden. And we see what big balls shows. And then we see what Joe Biden shows. But the point is, this has been happening for a long time and it's only getting worse. So, Trump is Batman in Gotham City, or maybe Trump is just kind of right with his DC takeover. And you keep getting this conflicting messaging from all of these lefties because they don't know how to process the fact that President Trump is right yet again. But eventually, the left always goes back to their old playbook of just lying directly to your face. And I want to play CNN giving some, half-assed chart comparing crime in 2025 to 2024 and 2023, while President Trump explains why he is placing DC Metro Police under federal control.
The murder rate in Washington today is higher than that of Bogota, Colombia, Mexico City, some of the places that you hear about as being the worst places on earth, much higher. This is much higher. The number of car thefts has doubled over the past 5 years, and the number of carjackings has more than tripled. And we're not going to let it happen anymore. We're not going to take it. Just like we did on our southern border. Nobody comes through our southern border anymore. 3 months in a row, we had zero. I don't know if that's right, but the people that do the work, it's a very liberal group of people, actually, and they actually said zero for the last 3 months. Nobody thought a thing like that was possible.
So their CNN's violent crime in D.C. 2024 to 25 comparison in the chart, they're like homicide down 12%, sex abuse down 49%, assault with a dangerous weapon down 20%, robbery down 28%. But I just would like to remind you, these stats were tampered with, first of all. We already know that. You have at least one DC officer who is on leave because it was found that he literally changed the stats. He tampered with the stats to make sure that there was a reduction and not an increase. So there's already that, okay? But even if those stats weren't tampered with, the homicide rate in that last CNN chart still showed that the 2024 homicide was higher than the 14-year period from 2006 to 2019. It was still higher. And then 2023 had the highest recorded homicide rate in 20 years. But somehow President Trump is the bad guy. Although they're saying he's Batman. And I'm like, I don't think you guys are trying to make him the bad guy. And he sounds actually really super cool because he's the hero that, DC needs. But it's almost impressive to watch these people. It's almost impressive to watch these people, the mental gymnastics that they have to go through to try to make it sound like, no, what are you talking about? Washington, D.C. is totally fine. It's completely fine. You've got all of these stories of people being carjacked. You would think that the D.C. commander would increase police presence or change tactics if you thought that they had two brain cells to rub together, maybe, but this is what they did instead. Here's an ex-post from the DC Police Department. MPD is giving away tiles and air tags to help our residents track their vehicles. If you live in PSA 106, 501, 502, 603, 605, or 606, you are eligible for this initiative. So all right. So a bad guy may take off with your car, but you could just air tag it. Now, they will, if they have an Apple phone, I believe they will get a notification eventually that says someone else's AirTag is traveling with you, and then they will find it, and they will just dump it, and then you'll never see your car again. And if you do, it will have already been sold for scrap parts. But you could get a free AirTag, and wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be impressive? Yeah? Huh? I mean, maybe you could use it for luggage someday, because Sam Brinton from the Biden administration might be going through your luggage. So if you're going on a trip, it could be like multifunctional and you could use it for him as well. I mean, it's a clown show that these people, there was a certain point, I believe it was Baltimore. There was a certain point where police departments were like, we're going to sue Hyundai because it's too easy to carjack these cars and we're having a carjacking epidemic. And instead of actually locking up the criminals, we're going to sue the car makers for making it too easy to carjack these damn cars. It's the car industrial complex that's causing this crisis, actually. And so you see, I mean, Let me just throw up the New York Post headline, Stephen. Thank you. Left-wing dark money megadonors, including George Soros, contribute $20 million to groups funding protests against Trump's DC crime crackdown. They are, guys, it is honestly, I'm gonna say the quiet part out loud for a second. It is actually my dream to have enough FU money to be able to contribute $20 million to such a retarded thing. Like, I don't even know what my cause would be. I just want to know that I have enough money to be like, yeah, we're going to throw it at these groups that are trying to protest against President Trump cleaning up the streets of DC. We love crime. I mean, my cause wouldn't be that retarded, but like, I just would like to have enough money to just be like, sure, whatever. I'll throw you $20 million to protest something stupid. That's how much they don't want President Trump to use the National Guard to clean up the city. And that's crazy. So listen, again, I have low expectations for these people. And yet somehow they always seem to shock even me. And that's saying something. We've got an interview coming up here, but I want to thank our sponsor really quickly. Let's thank our sponsor, Brickhouse Nutrition. So Brickhouse Nutrition, guys, they've got amazing products. They've got their whey protein that you guys need to check out. But what they've also got is their lean product. And if you've heard, I don't know if you've heard of the ingredient Caralluma, I believe is how you say it, but it's an edible cactus that grows in India. I don't know if you realize this. It's actually a natural appetite suppressant. Isn't it amazing? God has given us such natural sources of doing things that people want to go to the doctor and get an injection to do. But Caralluma is actually just one of the natural ingredients that doctors added to this weight loss supplement called Lean. I use it. I love it. If you are struggling with weight loss and you have not quite gotten off all of the weight that you have wanted to, don't go get the don't go get the fat shot drug, like President Trump calls it, okay? Lean was created to help maintain healthy blood sugar, help control appetite, help control cravings, and these ingredients are also designed to help burn fat by converting fat into energy. There's no needles. You don't have to inject yourself with something that wasn't actually meant for your issues, just real results, okay? Go check them out. Go get their whey protein while you're at it. God, it's so delicious. Steven, you're crazy for not liking chocolate. It is the best shit out there, okay? Please don't be mad at me, Lean. I get really excited about it because it's so good. I love all their products. Go check them out. TakeLean.com. Use promo code Sarah20 for 20% off. That is TakeLean.com. Promo code Sarah20. Now, coming up, Benny Johnson is going to join the show to talk about his recent Jasmine Crockett documentary, but also, we'll talk a little bit about DC crime there. Watch.
As a DC resident of 15 years, I lived on Capitol Hill. I witnessed so many muggings and so much theft. I lost track. I was carjacked. I have murders on my Ring camera and mass shootings. I witnessed a woman on my block get held up at gunpoint for $20. And my house was set ablaze in an arson with my infant child inside. And so to any reporter that says and lies that DC is a safe place to live and work, let me just say this. Thank you. Thank you for making the city safe, because no parent should have to go through what my family went through, having the fire department rip open their door to save their infant child.
One of our favorite topics on the show here is, of course, Representative Jasmine Crockett. And Jasmine Crockett is, I don't know that I would say that she is as much of an embarrassment to Texas as John Cornyn, but it's pretty damn close. She famously, went into running for Congress and had a completely different demeanor, a completely different attitude, a completely different accent, and now all of a sudden is Queen Hoodrat in Congress. And my friend Benny Johnson, of course, host of The Benny Show, actually traveled here to the Dallas area and to St. Louis to Jasmine Crockett's hometown to investigate where Jasmine Crockett is really from and what her district is like. And here's a short clip of that.
Yo, what's up, guys? We are in Dallas, Texas today in the heart of Jasmine Crockett's district. It is rough. It is tough. It is hood and it is foul, just like Jasmine Crockett. That's the whole persona, right? Puff talking, street fighting girl from the ghetto. But there's a little problem with Jasmine. It's all a lie. She's code switching. She's a fraud, and we can prove it today.
I'd like to welcome to the show Benny Johnson himself to talk to me about this epic video that you guys did. Benny, I saw this and I was like, damn it, Benny, why didn't I get to this first? Because she's in my backyard, and you, as smart as you are, were like, I'm going to come expose this guy or this woman, and expose you did. So tell everyone what kind of a code switcher Hood Rat Crockett is.
Yeah, so you would have had to go to where Jasmine Crockett's really from, because what she's doing is using the Dallas area. She's not from there. She has no roots there. She has no connection to Dallas whatsoever. Shows how low the barriers to entry are in the Democrat Party. You would have had to go to St. Louis, Sarah, and I don't know if you want to go to St. Louis, but the parts of St. Louis, there are some parts of St. Louis you don't want to go to, but there are some parts of St. Louis that are actually some of the nicest neighborhoods you've ever seen in your life. Like, think of the house that Mark and Patricia McCloskey lived in, that giant mansion that everyone was like, is this a museum? No, that's actually what houses look like in the Republican suburbs of St. Louis. And they're gorgeous and beautiful and leafy and manicured. And the people wave on their way to their HOA meetings on their beautiful, pristine lawns. It's a wonderful place to live. In fact, inside of that exact area is where Jasmine Crockett went to school, a place called Mary Institute of St. Louis County Day School. Anytime it has day school behind it, it means it's very, very fancy. That's where Jasmine went to school. It's not just a good school, Sarah. It's the best school in the entire state of Missouri. It's nationally ranked as one of the best preparatory schools in America. It's so elite that the test scores leaving that school are some of the highest in the entire nation. That's where Jasmine Crockett went to high school. It costs $35,000 per year. There's a private lacrosse field as well as a sunken, grassy Wimbledon court right there on campus, along with its own private bass pond. So it was remarkable walking around and seeing it. Jasmine Crockett, of course, went directly from there to Rhodes College in the rolling leafy hills outside of Memphis, Tennessee. That cost $75,000 per year. Then she went to the University of Houston Law School. That's another $40,000. So if you total it all together, it's very close to $1 million worth of higher, not only higher, the highest levels of education you can possibly get. And I don't know about you, but I went to community college in a hog field in Iowa. And so, boy,
you didn't have
I can speak, I can speak English. And so, it's something that is a real curiosity to me. And if you'll allow me to just finish my long-winded thought here, which is this. This isn't rare. This is normal in the Democrat Party. Mm-hmm. It's called working class stolen valor. It's practiced by the elites inside of the Democrat Party, whether you're Zorhan Mandami, Kamala Harris, or Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or Jasmine Crockett. You are embarrassed that you come from wealth and privilege. You have to make up stories, fanciful stories, in order to try and prove that you have some type of bona fides with the working class of which, and the welfare class of which you are constantly trying to appease and pander to. Remember AOC saying they just out here to steal bread, right? When everyone's robbing a Nike store, the Nike/bread store, right?
Right.
And this is exactly what Jasmine Crockett's doing. It's endemic in the Democrat Party. Kamala Harris says she worked the fries at McDonald's. Give me a break. Everyone knows that it's all farcical. It's all fake. It's all fraudulent. And the American public sees through it. It's just fun to expose it. I'm kind of amazed that more people don't.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're right, because when you look at how many of them are doing it, you pointed it out, there are so many of them doing it. And I understand that they're winning, at least for now. They're winning these seats. So one could say, well, they're doing it because they're getting away with it. But one has to wonder why they feel so shameful about their past, about, Jasmine Crockett. You point out, I certainly didn't have a private bass pond that we fished from at any point in my life, including right now. So it's like, what are they so shameful of? And why are they trying to hide who they truly are, do you think?
Oh, well, the answer to that, I think, is quite easy, although the solution to it is not so easy. The answer is deep-seated insecurity and self-loathing. Yeah. They actually hate who they are. They despise the God that created them. They don't like how they were raised, who they were raised to be. It's a crazy dichotomy, Sarah.
Yeah.
because this is the same party that tells you must be your authentic self. You must be who you are. There's nothing wrong with where you come from and what you choose to be. And yet they're the ones who refuse to embrace their elitist roots, their backgrounds as to where they come from. They're the ones who constantly have to lie to all of us and to live action role play that they're some ghetto girl from the hood when they are absolutely not. Do you know that Jasmine Crockett was the best clarinet player at St. Louis County Day School and Mary Institute? Oh, yes. She was one of the best, and she learned to play her clarinet under the apple tree. There was a private apple orchard there. And so it's a little, it's a little different from the world star, sexy red, hood rat life that she tries to project. And so it's something that is worth being called out. Now, the irony, I guess, of all of this is that people like AOC and Jasmine Crockett and Kamala Harris, in spite of their low IQs and in spite of being, I think, very unimpressive people, they have risen to positions of great power and prominence. I think often using working class stolen valor.
Yes.
Often off the struggle, saying they're from the struggle, but actually using struggling people to gain more power, which is an elitist trait in and of itself. Treating people like garbage all the way up. AOC refuses to pay her staff, treats them like trash. Jasmine Crockett treats her, her staff like trash. That's not what working class people do, actually. If you come from nothing like me, if you were raised poor, if you were raised in the working class and you had to scrape and come from nothing, you don't treat people like garbage, actually, right? You treat the janitor or the guy working the manhole cover, you treat them the same, that's the same way.
Yep.
But if you do come from elitist backgrounds, you treat people like trash. And that's something that Kamala Harris can't keep staffers. She rages and rips through her staff. Same thing with AOC, same thing with Jasmine Crockett. That's just old world elitism. Mm-hmm. And it underlies something fascinating, is that they are actually the images of how incredible this nation is. They're actually the most incredible advertisement for that. In America, you can go and become anything and do anything no matter where you come from. Even if you're as unimpressive and as unintelligible as AOC or Jasmine Crockett, you can still rise to power. At some level, it's actually a wonderful tribute to America.
Yeah.
In some type of charming, kind of sad, special, Make-A-Wish, special needs way.
That is a great point, because I keep saying, at least when it came to, at the time, I said Kamala Harris, Fani Willis, Ketanji Brown Jackson, all of these women who seem to keep getting these law degrees and yet know nothing. They can't even tell you what a woman is. They don't even, they're enamored with the school bus. And you're like, boy, we're just handing these degrees out like hotcakes, I guess, because I'm not so sure they learned anything. And so, I mean, but you have a great point, or at least it's an optimistic spin on it, is hey, you know what? Even in America, if you only have 2 brain cells to rub together, you too can make something of yourself, because that's what kind of country we have. And I love that. But I do want to ask you this too, Benny, before you go. So I appreciate all of your work, and you are doing great work. And I would encourage everyone, watch The Benny Show. It's on weekdays on X. I see you everywhere. It's on YouTube, Instagram. Is it 10 a.m. Eastern?
That's right.
Okay,
That's right.
So 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. Make sure that you watch it. Benny's doing great stuff. But there's a part of me, Benny, that says, don't do that. Don't expose Jasmine Crockett. I love Jasmine Crockett being the ringleader of the Democrat Party. I love Jasmine Crockett being the face of them. And I say, you know what? If the Democrat Party wants to plaster her all over CNN and MSNBC and all of these networks as their girl, who are we to stop them from doing that and just let the chips fall where they may?
So while I agree with you there, I also agree, much like with the saving of Washington, D.C., that the people of South Dallas are Americans. And I spent some considerable time in South Dallas, and I spoke with people on their front porches and inside of the bombed out, destroyed buildings of which they were just sitting in. You could just wander the streets of Malcolm X Boulevard. If anyone wants to know, I went down Malcolm X Boulevard, and I just went and talked with people.
Yeah.
And those people told me, to a man and to a woman, that they have just been forgotten about. And they are also the forgotten man and woman of America. and that they are not served at all by their representatives, and they've never seen Jasmine Crockett, they've never met Jasmine Crockett. And you end up feeling for those people because either through tough breaks or through just being born into poverty, you kind of need something. They deserve someone better than a code switching fraud.
Yeah.
And that's what Jasmine Crockett is. And the best result, and it most likely would be a Democrat, but the best result would be somebody representing these people and not just abusing them and using them, because that's just what's happened, for generations in that impoverished part of the country. And so, if you want better for your American citizen brethren, if you want America first, which means all of America first, then I care about those people. I care about the people in the Palisades that had their homes burned down by Gavin Newsom wantonly. I care about the people in Lahaina who are also in a blue state, but they had their entire city burned down. And then The Rock and Oprah try to fraudulently raise money over it.
Right.
And I care about the people who are currently enduring horrific terrorist level crime rates in Washington, D.C., even though those are all blue cities, they're all still my fellow countrymen. So they just deserve better. And it's our honor to go and serve them.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Benny. I appreciate you so much. Appreciate all of the great work that you're doing. I reposted your video, but I would like for everyone to just go to your page and watch it there. Make sure that you're following Benny. Make sure that you tune into to his show. And Benny, I just want to say I have a new producer on staff. His name is Andy, and he's a huge fan of yours, a huge fan. So this is a big moment for him to.
What up, Andy? How you doing, bro? What's going on, buddy?
So
all right, this salt's for you. All right, salt to live.
And I know, like there are a lot of young men that look up to you because of the great work that you're doing, which is so important with the next generation. So I appreciate you so much, Benny, and keep up the good work.
It's a movement. God has a plan, and it's exciting to be part of it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Benny Johnson, host of The Benny Show. We'll talk soon.
Thank you, sir.
See ya. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break. We will be back with more, but I want to thank our sponsor before we do that, CB Distillery. So listen, we've all got issues, right? Whether you're tired, maybe you got stress in your life, which don't talk to me about that today. Maybe you're dealing with some kind of pain that you need pain relief from. The point is, whatever it is that you're dealing with, maybe your pets are dealing with pain. Try CB Distillery. I know CBD gets a bad rap. People hear the word CBD and they're like, oh my gosh, it gets you high. It's a drug. No. There's a lot of misconceptions. It's not actually like the drug or anything like that. It's not going to get you high. It's just going to give you relief from whatever it is that your ailment is. Whether you need more sleep, you need to feel more relaxed, you need to ease everyday pain. And it's made with premium quality natural ingredients. They've got a full range of solutions for all of those things, plus more. Their Soothing Relief Balm is a huge customer favorite. So are their sleep products, which I love. I love the sleep products. Go check them out. It is cbdistillery.com. You can save 25% off your entire purchase using promo code Sara, S-A-R-A. That's cbdistillery.com, promo code Sara. Welcome to the show. We have Matthew Marsden, Blaze TV contributor and actor and producer extraordinaire, along with Jason Buttrill, chief researcher of the Glenn Beck program, but more importantly, Sara Gonzales enthusiast.
Yes. That's not what I was expecting. I'm gaining titles.
I like that.
Yeah.
I love it.
Every time we're going to come up with a new title for Jason, and we're going to see if they can keep up with it in the control
That means you're
room.
a sage. Sara Gonzales enthusiast.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
What, Stephen?
Oh, no.
Motorcycle expert?
Motorcycle expert.
That too. The Sara Gonzales motorcycle.
Sara Gonzales, motorcycle expert. Sleeveless expert. He is an expert on
He's
no
not
sleeves.
an expert on sleeves.
He's not an expert on sleeves. No, he doesn't. He has them today. But listen, it's summer in Texas, so it's a crapshoot on whether or not he's actually going to wear sleeves.
I'm in favor of pumping up my resume as much as possible. So let's just keep it going.
Are you going somewhere, Jason?
No, not that.
Dang.
Something you need to tell us, Jace.
Talk about starting
Putting
stuff.
in your
Dang.
2 weeks today on Sara Gonzales Unfiltered as an exclusive? That's crazy. What a way for Glenn Beck to find out that you're leaving.
I tell you what, with all these disclosures that have happened lately, it'll drive you to want to just quit because it's great to have these, but I just got finished reading another 266-page one. or I'm in the middle of it. It's just insane.
Do they have
Finish it yet? What the hell's wrong with you? Read. Speed up.
Pages into
Speed
it.
up. What are you waiting on?
You are a Marine, so do they have them with pictures?
Right. They're crayon.
They're crayons,
pictures.
right? Like,
I don't. This is way off topic, but I don't because I'm in the middle of it. Did you guys read the full, just kind of like details of the Adam Schiff?
Hell no. That's what we go to you for.
Here.
Oh my gosh. Like I just got finished reading the pages where he was like, allegedly directing all of these leaks because he was pissed off because he wanted to be the CIA director and he knew that Hillary Clinton was going to appoint him as that. And when Trump won the election, he was like, okay, everything's off. I mean, but just reading how they, built everything out. There was like a Russia room where they were just like sharing all this classified information and staffers were then directed to reach out to the media and start leaking. And how the FBI did nothing? I'm sorry, I'm hijacking your show, but
no, I talked about it yesterday and I thought I said the same thing because it's so important for people to put into context. This was when President Trump was in office the first time. This was in a Trump administration, and the FBI and the DOJ did absolutely nothing. They were like, yeah, it's fine.
This was a full-on operation to just leak classified information.
Yep.
And I was an intelligence analyst back in my day, and they scared the crap out of you back then. They were like, not only will you go to jail for 50 years or whatever if you let any of this stuff go, it's compounded by every other single person that reads or hears about what you leak.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Then I tell Matthew, then I'm responsible for 50 years on top of my already 50.
Shut up. I didn't know that.
So now I'm looking at 150 years in jail. But if this is true about what Adam Schiff did,
it's true.
Millions of people are hearing this information.
It's true.
They should be locked up. The key should be thrown away a long time ago.
Can you imagine a worse person being the head of the CIA than him?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. A deep state dream.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's funny, like the Central Intelligence Agency with the dumbest mother. I didn't say it. Pencil neck. I mean, can you imagine him being the head of the CIA?
No.
Yeah. An idiot plus a man that's designed to be there as a weaponized tool just to, not gather intelligence or something like that, but just to subvert. Just to go after the people they don't like politically.
The stuff that we're finding out now, I mean, it really should make everyone think, put it in perspective, if Hillary Clinton had won. And then also if Kamala Harris had won. I mean, like, this is it's kind of game over, in my opinion. It's just like that. It would have gotten really freaking bad with all of these deep state puppets that we're talking about. And they would have been emboldened because all this shit would have gotten 100 times worse in a Hillary Clinton administration.
Well, you know what, though? It was very much like mental abuse to the American public because you'd sit there and you'd, live your life, experience these things, see things, and then they would tell you that, no, that's absolutely not the way it is. It's like this. And you'd be like,
yeah.
Hang on a minute. No. You don't understand.
Deep fakes and cheap fakes.
It's unbelievable what they were doing, and I think that's really contributed psychologically to Americans saying, "I'm over this. I don't care now. We need to get back to being true." And I do have a kind of like little bit of a theory on. It's only my own little conspiracy theory. I've actually come up with it myself. I don't know if anyone else has thought it up, but I think that there's a reason why that Trump is taking over the DC.
What?
Police. I think there's going to be a lot of, how can I put it? Like they're going to expose a lot of stuff, and it's going to get a little bit crazy.
Well, I'm here for it.
Me too. I mean, I'm like,
but it has to happen because there's this. That's just a powder keg. If you're talking about, we now know what Barack Obama was the one who told them to go forward with this Russia bullshit that he knew was fake. Adam Schiff was out there trying to leak classified information just to damage Trump. I mean, the list goes on of people who need to be held accountable. And if the American public gets this information and still nothing's done about it, like, what is that telling? I literally just had this conversation today, actually, about personal matters, was like, what message is that sending to the offender? What message is that sending to the offender if nothing is done about it?
Yeah.
Go ahead, do it again, I guess, because you're not going to be held accountable.
Yeah. Matt, I don't think your conspiracy theory is conspiracy. Well, It's a theory, but I don't think it's like in the realm of conspiracy at all, because the people that we are up against, they are the color revolution people.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're the ones that organize, fund, direct street activists to go out there and cause all kinds of hell. So I don't think it's out of the realm possibility at all that, these. I was just sitting at a computer, I was talking to my boss, and I was like, I cannot keep up with this. It's just disclosure after disclosure after disclosure. We're trying to stay ahead of it. But if this is only the beginning, oh my God, what are our opponents, our enemies to the state actually be willing to do? What are they getting prepared to do?
Yeah.
I think right now they're like, oh, I can't believe they're getting hit so many times. I mean, we said this before with the way that Trump, we've totally derailed the show.
I totally derailed it. It's my fault.
It's fine.
But I think that the way that Trump came out of the blocks when he first came out and he used social media to put them on the back foot, they were never prepared for that because they're used to going, you're a racist. And then everyone went, oh, no, don't say that. Oh, and then they're like, no, but you're a bigot. And then they'd be like, no, I'm not because of, but. And then Trump was just like, I don't give a shit.
Yep.
This is what you are. And they went, well, hang on a minute. That's not the way we play.
Here's the proof.
And that's not the way we play the game. And by the way, I don't give a shit. And then the rest of the country was like, thank you.
Yep.
And so now what I believe is happening is disclosing it all because he knows. I mean, look, as we've said before multiple times, Sarah, they tried to kill him.
Yep.
They tried to kill him.
They tried to throw him in prison if the killing didn't work.
Yeah, and so what's happening right now is he's getting it all out. And I think that there is some massive bombshells. I mean, look, in a normal time, if we weren't in a crazy time, the stuff that we've seen should put a lot of people in jail and it would be a massive scandal. But they were so corrupt. It's like there's so much to get out right now. We are leading up to something, I think, bigger.
Is it getting hot in here or is it just me? Listen, the idea that all these people are finally going to go down, Stephen, does that turn you on? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah? Yes? Are you as turned on as I am?
Yeah.
You two can go. Me and
We'll finish the show.
We'll finish the show.
Listen.
Take it, Stephen.
Listen, save that energy for later, okay? Because we've got to thank our sponsor and then we've got to we got to take a quick break. But I want to thank Shopify, who do we have our cha-ching ready?
Yep.
Yes. So Shopify, I personally use Shopify for AmericanBeautyBySarah.com. So if you were to go literally right now to AmericanBeautyBySarah.com and you were to purchase Miss America, which I'm wearing on my lips right now, you actually would be using a website that was built by Shopify. Millions of businesses use it, and it is the commerce platform behind like 10% of all e-commerce in the United States. They've got templates for household brands that are just getting started, or household brands and then brands that are just getting started, everything in between. They've got templates for all of it. And it's very, very easy. I could pull up, I wish, like, if we had more time, I'd pull it up on my phone right now, the app that I use. It's so simple. It's so easy to use. I'm really dumb whenever it comes to technology. Steven, am I wrong?
No comment.
You put him in a difficult position there, didn't you?
It's not a trick question. I'm really
totally
dumb.
a trick question.
I'm dumb when it comes to it, and I with ease. I use this Shopify all the time on my phone, very, very easily. So if you're dumb with technology like I am, but you are ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Turn your big business idea into with Shopify on your side, guys. In case you didn't realize, that's lots of money. If you like money, sign up for your $1 per month trial. Start selling today. Shopify.com/Sarah. That is Shopify.com/Sarah. So I had Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton on the other day, and he, of course, filed a lawsuit against Beto O'Rourke's PAC, Powered by People, for raising money for these Democrats, Texas Democrats, that are violating the law by breaking quorum. And eventually that amounts to bribery, which is Ken Paxton's argument. And he is now trying to put O'Rourke behind bars over this fundraising for these AWOL Dems because, listen, Beto got a restraining order against him for this particular lawsuit. And after he got a restraining order, he went into Tarrant County and he held a rally and he tried to raise money for these Democrats. And it's all on video. I wish we had the video to play. We don't have it. But it's all out there go on X. It's all over the place.
Was that the break the rules? We're not following the rules speech?
Yes, it was that speech, but he went on. I have the video right here.
Though.
It was that. Yeah, he edited it out where he was like, actually, text this, this number to text fight to this number and donate to help these people. I mean, it was as clear as day that he was violating this restraining order. And I just wanted to think just for a second. I just wanted to just put this into the universe of how beautiful it would be to see Beto O'Rourke behind bars for something other than the time where he, tried to kill people behind the wheel, driving under the influence. Because remember, he did that too. And then he ran from the cops, I believe.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
He did that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I didn't misremember. Not that he would be happy to sue me as payback for anything.
We did this full show on him back when he was first becoming a thing.
Yeah.
Has he ever become?
He was skateboarding at the Whataburger.
Yes, exactly. But we did this, and we looked into his background, and he's went to these crazy private schools, and this it was exactly like the segment
Jasmine
you just
Crockett,
did, exactly the same.
Yep.
All these people are phonies.
Yep.
You were saying, are some of these people finally going to see justice? They need to, and he does too. If they find out that what he did was illegal, if they're screwing around like that, they felt like they could do whatever they want with impunity. It does not matter. They will never have to suffer anything for it. Do what they did to us.
Yes.
Even though we did nothing wrong, but they still tried to screw us. Catch them in the act and then put them in prison.
Because they are the party of projection. We've said this a million times on the show. They are the party of projection, and what they know they are doing, they are claiming that we're doing. So you know what? I don't care about but we can't do to them what they did to us. They're the literal criminals.
Yeah.
What else do you want us to do? He's daring a judge to put him behind bars.
Well, but actually, we're not doing what they did to us, because if they break the law, we're actually enforcing the law. We didn't break the law.
Fair.
And they were making accusations, like they're making accusations against Trump that never happened. It's different if you're actually being punished for doing a crime. So I saw that video and I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, why would you say that?
Yeah.
Because, you heard him. He's like, F the rules. Who cares about the rules? When we get back in power, we're going to drive the car like we stole it. Like, buddy, we know. That's what you guys have been doing every single time you get just a sliver of power. We understand 91 indictments, 34 felony counts. You tried to kill the guy twice. I think we're clear that you guys don't give a about the rules.
You know what's crazy about Beto is he's still trying. Like, wouldn't you just crawl under a rock if you were him?
They're all the same, though.
That many times.
They're all the same.
It's insane. Like what? Like I would move to Denmark and start speaking their language or something. But now he's still out there.
You know what? I would encourage Beto, if you want to run for Senate, please run, because I'm dying to go meet you at a rally. See you soon, Beto.